واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة في الدين بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. نعوذ وإياكم بالله العظيم من البدع ومن النار. إخوة الإيمان، الأخوة الصادقة هو عنوان خطبتنا لهذا اليوم إن شاء الله. True brotherhood is the topic of today's khutbah بإذن الله. يقول عز من قال: يا أيها الناس يا أيها الناس يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Allah has created you from male and female and made you into tribes and nations and races so that you can know each other and live with each other and interact with each other. But at the end of the day, the best of you in the sight of Allah is not this tribe or that lineage or that race or this gender, rather at-taqwa. Allah Azza wa Jal has directed this ayah not to the Muslimin, not to the mushrikeen, not to the kafiri. Ya ayyuhan nas, all of son of Adam, you and I, everybody. So in the sight of Allah, it does not matter what your last name is, does not matter what the color of your skin is, all that will go away. Remember where the uncles of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, those who rejected his message, they come from the best lineage, right? It did not protect them or save them. The race, the color, the gender, the nation, none of that matters in the sight of Allah. As Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and pay attention to how he also starts his hadith, Ya ayyuhan nas, same as the ayah, not Ya ayyuhal mu'minun. Ya ayyuhan nas, ala inna rabbakum wahid. Your Lord is wahid. Wa inna abakum wahid. And your father is the same, Adam alayhi salam. لا فضل لعربي على عجمي ولا لعجمي على عربي ولا لأبيض على أحمر ولا أسود على أحمر ولا أحمر على أسود إلا بالتقوى. Nothing makes you better, whether you're race, you're Arab, you're not Arab, you're Ajami, you're black, you're white, you're yellow, doesn't matter. None of that matters except at-taqwa, which is in the heart and measured by Allah Azza wa Jal. So we start thinking about that. أن السعادة والهناء ضمنها الله تعالى لمن خافه واتقاه. So if the color of my skin, my family name, my lineage, the country I come from does not matter, what matters in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jal? What makes me look with a little bit of pride and arrogance when I see someone else? Why? What triggers that? Will that matter? Opposite to that, it might come back and hurt me. He subhanahu wa ta'ala said, من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن فلنحيينه حياة طيبة ولنجزينهم أجرهم بأحسن ما كانوا يعملون. It's your عمل الصالح that matters. And العمل الصالح is two things. One, it has to have al-ikhlas. So you cannot come to the masjid today and pray because today is just happened to be the Jum'ah and people go to the masjid. There's no sincerity in the amal. And the second is al-mutaba'ah. It has to be continuous. You don't have that, that amal doesn't work. And you don't want on the day of judgment to be among those who thought they were doing something فَحَبِطَتْ أَعْمَالُهُمْ فَلَا نُقِيمُ لَهُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَزْنًا. You don't want to find out that everything you've done it because of this, or my family, or my father told me to do so, or this is just what people do. It has to be for the sake of Allah. وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى وَأَنَّ سَعْيَهُ سَوْفَ يُرَى ثُمَّ يُجْزَاهُ الْجَزَاءَ الْأَوْفَى. None of those things matter except what you do, which will be accounted for you, and it will be presented to you on the day of judgment. إنما هي أعمالكم أحصيها لكم ثم أوفيكم إياها يوم القيامة فمن وجد خيرا فليحمد الله. You will not find your family. You'll not find your passport. You will not find your color, your gender. None of that will matter on that day. فَمَنْ وَجَدَ صَالِحًا فَلْيَحْمَدِ اللَّهِ. Should be grateful to Allah that He guided you to do the right thing. وَمَنْ وَجَدَ غَيْرَ ذَلِكَ فَلَا يَلُومَنَّ إِلَّا نَفْسَهُ. Don't blame anybody else but yourself. You got to get rid of that arrogance and that pride of al-asabiyya, of al-jahiliyya, of tribism, of groupism, of whatever it is that makes you falsely think that you're better than others. You're not. That's not what makes it. As he sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَلَا إِلَى أَجْسَامِكُمْ وَلَا إِلَى أَمْوَالِكُمْ فِي رِوَايَةٍ وَلَكِنْ يَنظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. Allah doesn't look at how good you look, how big you are, how muscular you are, how rich, what lineage, what family, where you come from. Your town is better than the next town, or that town. No. He looks at your heart. He looks at your a'mal. That's what He will measure you against on the day of judgment. Nothing else. إِذْ جَعَلَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فِي قُلُوبِهِمُ الْحَمِيَّةَ حَمِيَّةَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَةً. This is the tribism and the groupism of al-jahiliyyah, of the ignorant times, opposite of what you as Muslims should stand for. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man da'a bid'wa al-jahiliyyati fahuwa min jutha jahannam." Whoever calls for any of that, or group against another group, or better than the other one, etc., fahuwa min jutha jahannam, the bottom of Jahannam. Wal-iyadu billah. When a group of Jews in the Medina tried to instigate a problem between the two major tribes, Al-Aws wal-Khazraj in the Medina before the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were fighting for decades. And when Al-Islam came, peace prevailed, and they became brothers and sisters. They forgot all their animosity, all the hatred, all the wars, all the losses. They lost brothers and sisters and mothers and daughters. They lost, but they put all that to the side, and they became ikhwa, mutahabbina fillah. Then somebody tried to instigate a problem between them and started to remind them of the wars and the losses and the harm that they received from each other. فخرج شاب من الخزرج واستل سيفه وآخر من الأوس واستل سيفه وكادت الحرب أن تقوم بينهم. So they held their sword, they remembered asabiyatul jahiliyyah, and they wanted to start fighting again. For what? For what? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam heard of that. It was narrated that he ran out of his room barefooted. He ran out in a hurry to stop that, because it would have been bloodshed again. And he said, Hasbi Allah, Hasbi Allah, Hasbi Allah, La ilaha illa huwa, alayhi tawakkalt, wa huwa rabbul arsh al-azim. He says, Ya ma'shar al-muslimin, he was screaming at them, Allah, Allah, abi da'wa al-jahiliyyah, wa ana bayna adhurikum. You call for ignorance again, and I'm still between you? I'm still with you, and you call for that? What will the people that come after you do? وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ أَفَبِدَعْوَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ وَأَنَا بَيْنَ أَظْهُرِكُمْ بَعْدَ أَنْ هَدَاكُمُ اللَّهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. After Allah has guided you to Al-Islam, وَأَكْرَمَكُمْ بِهِ, and He honored, He chose you to be the first Muslims. وَقَطَعَ بِهِ عَنْكُمْ أَمْرَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ, and with Al-Islam, He deleted and erased and abolished everything from the times of the ignorance. وَاسْتَنْقَذَكُمْ بِهِ مِنَ الْكُفْرِ, and He saved you from disbelief by becoming Muslims. وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ, and He brought your hearts together. أَبِي دَعْوَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ وَأَنَا بَيْنَ أَظْهُرِكُمْ. Allah, Allah. Does this still happen? Does my heart feel something different or better than the person next to me? أَبِي دَعْوَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ. Would you meet Allah Azza wa Jal with that? When the Sahaba heard that, they realized that it was a shaitan instigating between them. And they realized the big mistake that they made. And they start crying and they ask for forgiveness. And they hugged each other. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن تطيعوا فريقا من الذين أوتوا الكتاب يردوكم بعد إيمانكم كافرين. You cannot listen to those calls, even if they come from the most beloved person to you. Even if that person is from your bloodline, if it's your own father, if it's your own mother, if it doesn't matter who it is. Da'wa al-jahiliyyah should not and does not exist among Muslims. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأصلي وأسلم على من لا نبي بعده، محمد بن عبد الله النبي الصادق الأمين، وعلى آله وصحبه الطيبين الطاهرين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد, our Deen brothers and sisters has put in all the tools needed for our hearts to be united, for us to highly respect one another and to measure people according to their deeds and what they see, not to their lineage, their tribe, their race, their gender, none of that, none of that. Rasulullah ﷺ said, من قاتل تحت راية عمية أي يغضب لعصبة أو يدعو إلى عصبة أو ينصر عصبة فقتل قتلة الجاهلية. If somebody calls for that, instigates based on tribes, nation, etc., and dies upon that, dies as an ignorant. ميتة الجاهلية. Not even a Muslim. يموت ميتة الجاهلية والعياذ بالله. He, Rasulullah, and I leave you with this hadith, he said, لن تفنى أمتي. لن تفنى أمتي. My ummah will not be abolished or disappear until حتى يظهر فيها, until three things prevail or surface amongst them. And sadly, you see some of them today. لن تفنى أمتي حتى يظهر فيها التمايز والتمايل والمعامع. لن تفنى أمتي, until these three things. They said, قيل يا رسول الله, they've never heard these words. ما التمايز? ما التمايز? Favoritism, better. He said, عصبية يحدثها الناس بعدي في الإسلام. Something, they create something out of nowhere. We are Palestinians, you are Indian, we are from this part of the town, you are from that, whatever. They create something, and then everybody starts gravitating towards that. Then animosity hits him. قيل وما التمايل يا رسول الله. So the first التمايز, people start showing off. I'm better than you because of this or that. He says, تميل القبيلة على القبيلة فتستحل دمها. One tribe attacks another tribe and they shed their blood and they think they are just in shedding their blood. قيل فما المعامع يا رسول الله. So it starts with that. A tribe hits another tribe. المعامع سير الأمصار بعضها إلى بعض تختلف أعناقها في الحرب. The nations and tribes and everybody fights everybody. Everywhere you look, they're fighting. If you try to look at the cause and the reason, some people don't even know why. It's been so long. It's been decades. Look what Al-Islam has done to Al-Ansar. They went from Al-Aws wal-Khazraj to Al-Ansar. إنما المؤمنون إخوة. So, if you see some of that, your job is to contribute against it, to stop it, to clarify to people. We cannot accept that one drop of Muslim blood to be shed unjustly because of da'wah al-jahiliyyah, because of these things that we create out of nowhere. اللهم اجعلنا مما يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعلنا مما يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اجعلنا مما يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم طهر أعمالنا من الرياء. اللهم طهر أعمالنا من الرياء. اللهم طهر أعمالنا من الرياء وألسنتنا من الكذب وقلوبنا من الشرك ومن النفاق وأعيننا من الخيانة يا رب العالمين. اللهم ردنا والمسلمين إلى دينك ردا جميلا. اللهم لا تردنا خائبين ولا خزايا ولا محرومين ولا مطرودين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين. اللهم ارفع كلمتي الحق والدين. اللهم من أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين خيرا فوفقه إلى كل خير، ومن أراد بالإسلام والمسلمين شرا فخذه أخذ عزيز مقتدر. أنت ولي ذلك والقادر عليه يا رب العالمين. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. عباد الله، إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. إخواني في الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله العظيم يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم